Why, hello there. I'm here to talk about Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Saw it for the second time just last night, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, perhaps more than the first time I saw it. I have no problems giving it a 9. I think it's one of the better movies I've seen this year. Definitely, probably the best action film I've seen this year, thriller, what have you. Pretty spectacular. A finely honed piece of action machinery. It's about the delusion of the IMF. They have been set up for the bombing of the Kremlin, and they are disavowed. Their secretary, the secretary of the IMF, is assassinated, and now they're all wanted terrorists, and they have to go about, at one, clearing their name, doing it covertly, and 3, doing it also to save the world from nuclear annihilation, of course. The film is pretty much non-stop. Really, I think in my first review I said like the last 30 minutes is non-stop, but really it's like the whole thing. And the movie is I believe like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and that 2 hours and 15 minutes just zooms by, disappears, which is a feat of storytelling. Both visual, and on the paper. It just goes right by. Just sugar-coated candy goodness that just explodes in your mouth, and I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It stars Tom Cruise. I wanted to remember her name, but I cannot remember her name. Female lead, sorry, can't remember her name. Who else? Simon Pegg, Jeremy Renner, Tom Wilkinson's in there for a bit. Michael Nyqvist, who played the original Michael Blomkvist in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the original trilogy. He's the bad guy. There's several other... Ving Rhames is in there, though uncredited. I noticed this time. I watched the credits, and Ving Rhames not in the credits, so I thought that was pretty interesting. That's about all I can remember. All of the acting very good, very appropriate. They, even though they're action movie, heroes, they all get their moments of doubt, of sadness, hints of tragedy. They all get to be badasses. They get to be funny. Again, like all of these characters, they could have been so easily action movie cliches, but they feel fleshed out. They feel rounded out. We care. That's the only thing I wanted to mention, is that someone pointed out to me, who I guess still liked the film, but just thought it was okay, said there really wasn't a bad guy. There was no, classic movie villain. And I watched the film thinking about that a little bit, and I could see their point, definitely. He's not in it much. But I think the film focuses on the IMF team. We get to know them. We get to care about them. And it's true that the bad guy, Michael Nyqvist, doesn't have much to say, but he has a lot to do. And there's an old saying that an action is worth 1,000 words. And the bad guy is a man of action. He he takes action all the time. I mean, the entire movie is the IMF trying to stop him from taking action because he's so focused, he's so driven, and he cannot be stopped. So what he lacks in spoken personality, I think he more than well makes up for it in, action and in character. We understand his motivations, and the end of the film, we cannot doubt his commitment. I thought out of all of the Mission Impossible villains, he might be the most sincere. I mean, he really believes in what he's doing, where I have no memory whatsoever of most of Mission Impossible 2. I can't even remember the villain. I can't remember. Philip Seymour Hoffman is the villain in the third one, and though I can remember Philip Seymour Hoffman because he's Philip Seymour Hoffman, I can't remember what his goals were. I can just remember him putting bombs in people's brains. His character does not stand out. He stands out, but I have no idea what he wanted. I can't forget what this guy wanted. So I think, he makes a pretty classic villain. Even though, true, he didn't have much to say, but he had plenty to do. I thought it was pretty seamless. I talked about this enough in my first review. I can't remember who wrote it. I wish I could, but or if he co-wrote it. The director is Brad Bird. Brad Bird, this is his first live-action feature. He's a giant, as far as I'm concerned, in the world of animation. He's a founding father of The Simpsons. He did the classic Iron Giant. He did the classic Incredibles. I would say the wonderful Ratatouille. What else has he done? Those are his big ones. But this is his first foray into live action, and I think, it's a home run. I think through working with animation and having to tell a elegant, simple story mostly through movement, I think has helped him, and that's what I notice in this film a lot, is the camera. The story never stops moving. The camera never stops moving. The actors never stop moving. It just go, go, go. All the time. Go, go, go. Which is probably what it would be like to be one of these super soldiers in this impossible mission forces. So I thought it was appropriate for the story and what it should be. I think hands down it's probably the best Mission Impossible movie. The first one I saw when I was very young, and I was in high school, and I loved it. I mean, I loved that movie. At the time, I thought that was one of the best movies of the year. Bought it on VHS, then later bought it on DVD. Loved that movie. So, I mean, maybe the first Mission Impossible is closer to my heart, but, this just gave me everything I could want. What else can I talk about? Everything was excellent. Of course, globe hops. I mean, when you're a super spy, you're, of course, traveling all around the world and with the most beautiful women and the most beautiful men and the best cars in the world and the best dresses, the best of everything when you're a super spy. Apparently, it, is a requirement. So that holds true here. You get to see the best of the best. Beautiful women, handsome men, just outlandish cars, technology that is sure to be, science eventuality as opposed to science fiction. You get to globe hop, you go to Dubai, you go to Mumbai, San Francisco, where else? Portland? Is that right? Seattle, I mean. So you just, you get to go everywhere, which is also fun, and you get to actually see the cities. So that's nice. Everything made me happy. I mean, really, it's just popcorn entertainment at its best, you know. And really, it's more than that, because it gives you something to think about, gives you something to appreciate, and so I think that elevates it a little bit, just from, you know, the average action picture. I don't really know what else to say about it, other than I had a fantastic time. I sadly did not get an opportunity to see it in IMAX. It was shot, if not all of it, most of it was shot in IMAX, so you should try to see it as it is intended in IMAX. I did not get to do that. I doubt I will have the opportunity to do that, so that's a bummer, but I still saw it on a much bigger screen than I saw it on the first time, had a much better seat than I saw it the first time, so I think overall my experience was just much more enjoyable. But still, you know, it's a solid 9. I can't give it a 10, you know. It's not, it didn't make me fall in love or anything, but it was fantastic, you know, and the true meaning of that word, fantastic. It was fantastic. So that's it. That's Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I'll give it a 9. Definitely one of the best times I've had in the theater this year. Thank you.